What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 2300 Gear Jammer channel. We're going to take a deep breath. We're going to relax. It's not quite so hot today, but we're going to keep working on wiring, and most of the hard part is done. Up to this point in previous videos, I have done the body harness. I got all the lights working. Headlights, taillights, brake lights, turn signals, everything. If it's a light on the car, I got all of it working. Even the little indicator in the dash works, so I'm pretty excited about that. And I have worked on the engine harness. It's a drop-in Ron Francis harness that we're going to use. And I've sort of modified it to fit this car and how I want to use it. That one's come along pretty good. In the last video, I did the battery relocation kit. We ran the wires for that, starter solenoid, and I installed some relays in the last one. Installed. Those don't work, so we're going to have to fix that up. And in the factory dash harness, believe it or not, the Pintos actually come sort of like this, just a big ball of mess. It is tied together a little bit, but I need to fix that. I'm up to the point I can get rid of some extra length, and I can finalize the lengths and get everything sort of tied where I want it to be. And I need to do switches to turn on the fan, water pump, boost control, nitrous, all the extra stuff. So I'm gonna end up making a harness myself for that. So we need to make a harness and put the switches together for that. For the switches, this is all the stuff that's left over for the Mustang. And I've got lots of mixed terminals here. I have no idea what's what. Got little gaskets that go on them, electrical connectors. These are lit rocker switches, so it's gonna be lit, fam. And it's got little switch holders. There's a middle one, and then there's a rounded one, so you can have these on the end. The Mustang has 6, and the only reason I did 6 is because it fits in the center console really nice. I don't use all of those. I'm gonna do 6 in this because then I can just drop this onto that if I need to. Just thinking about these switch covers. I was originally gonna make it match the black Mustang, which I'm gonna do for today. But I can order these that have labels on them for water pump, fan, nitrous, things like that. So I'm gonna put these on for today. I only have 3 switches anyway, so I gotta order some of these. I think a labeled one would be easier for other people. It's fine for me. I'm comfortable with both cars and I put them together so I know what does what. But for people that aren't used to driving this stuff, especially this car in particular, I'll have labeled switches. It'll be easier. And you can buy this switch panel. I think Morozo sells one that's pretty much these same parts. It's in a bracket and everything. And the last time I looked, it was like $230. So I don't know how much this stuff costs. If I can find the cost of that stuff, I'll put it on the screen now. But for sure, we can waste a bunch of time and spend a bunch of money and end up with the same thing. Here we go. There we go. This thing's actually a radio mount for the Mustang. These switches fit in there perfect. But here we go. This is the power that lights the lit part, common ground, and then you come back and you'll add your wire for whatever you want to turn on and off. This isn't meant to carry any current. So these are just to control the relay. But I don't have enough switches. I can put some together. I'll probably just keep working with this to make sure I get everything working today. It's pretty warm. Next, I'm gonna do the tack wiring. I don't think I mentioned that at the beginning, but I'm just gonna put a 4-plug connector on the tack, and I don't really run any kind of fancy tack. I run the cheapest thing I can get off a marketplace or eBay or whatever. So I got like a $30 5-inch monster tack that's just the cheapest junk I could find. And the wiring for that's almost witchcraft. So I'm just gonna wire it. We'll see that it works at some point, and then I'll put up how I did it. And I'm trying to think about the best way to do the wiring. I'd like to draw out diagrams and just throw it in the video. So if nothing else, I'll have it for my own stuff. If you recommend a software that I should use for that, let me know, put it in the comments, and I will do diagrams for this car and I'll put them up at some point. The tack is a little bit tricky, and it's easier to show how I wired the injectors and things like that. So it'll be specific to this car. It won't necessarily help you, but it'll help me. It'll keep all of the stuff in one place so I can go back and look at it. But yeah, put that in the comments. Oh no, uninstalled. All right, switches work. That's just power and ground on this part. So the situation here, not really a situation, but this switch applies power. So when you turn this on, it gives a circuit 12 volts. And the Ron Francis harness is made, this orange wire is key on 12 volts. And then you see it jumps across all of those. So it applies power when you turn the key on. And then for the extra circuits, like the fan, it uses the PCM to ground the circuit. So when you turn the key on, all of these relays on the control side have power, and then it adds a ground through the PCM. So that's a problem with this. When I wire my new relays, I need to keep that in mind. And the other situation, when the key is off, I want to make sure that the power to my switches turns off. So if I'm running the water pump and I shut the key off, I want the water pump to shut off, right? So that way somebody doesn't kill a battery super quick, because that water pump and fan will do it in a hurry. So I need to keep that in mind. And what else I've got? I added a 4-wire connector on the tack. So I don't use the tack when I run the Mustang. Since I launched the car at 6,600 RPMs all the time, no matter what, I just know what it sounds like. So I shipped at 7,600. I know what that sounds like. And I can take the tack completely out of the car and I can hit those shift points shockingly close, especially when I'm really into practice. And when something goes wrong, it's really funny. When something goes wrong in the car, it throws my own timing off. I'll start short shifting, and if you overlay the time on a clean run, the times will line up. So I've done it by feel so much that I don't use a tack. I slowly move the shift light in front of my face on the Mustang, and I will do that for this car so that it's as similar as I can make it. But the only reason I'm putting a tack in here is for other people that are going to drive it. I don't know. I left the leads long enough that I can, if the connector's in the middle, the tack will reach kind of everywhere. So we'll worry about that later. I got to keep it in mind when I'm wiring. And the other thing is I need to go through and get this mess. So that one's going to take a while. This is really slow. But I'm going to take a break and go pick up some stuff for the Thunderbirds. Plural. Yeah. What are you doing, turkey? Yeah, of course there's a storm coming. I found a gas tank for the 8788 Thunderbird on Marketplace, so hopefully I can fix the parts car one. We had a rust hole, knocked a hole in the bottom of the one, so gonna grab that real quick and see if I can beat the rain, because it's always raining here and windy. My gosh. I don't actually know how many T5s I have now. It's a couple. I didn't have enough though, whatever it is. And it's raining pretty crazy. It's hard to hear. I don't have good sound here. All right, so for a laugh and my own entertainment, I thought it would be funny if I used the wire that's supposed to go to the carburetor for an electric choke as the wire to turn on the PCM relay. So it's got power, 12 volts when you turn the key on, but after I got everything powered up and the ground's hooked up, I discovered that when you turn the key on, you have power, and then you turn the key forward, there is no power. So basically, if I left it that way, you turn the key on, the PCM turns on, you go to crank it, and the PCM turns back off. So it's devastating, and now I have to redo one wire just because I thought it would be funny. All right. All right, we got power with the kill switch. Key on, fuel pump relay turns on for 2 seconds, shuts off. So that part's looking good. Tack, brum, 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 brum. Working, obviously. Switches, we got relays that turn on and off with the switches for water pump and fan. And I still need to clean some of this up, make some brackets, but we're pretty good. I'm pretty happy. Shut the key off and the relays stay off, and I'm in good shape. All right, doing the wiring is a pretty intimidating thing for me. I started this whole thing. It's been a lot of time that's gone into it, and I'm not good at this. When I was doing the factory wiring harness of fixing the lights and backup lights and things like that, that's completely fine. That's normal to me. That all of that harness is put together like things that I'd worked on. It's when I'm doing things like adding the fuel injection harness, things are done a little bit different than I would have worked on in a factory installed harness. So that's okay. We just work through it a little bit at a time. I split these up into some extra videos, and I feel confident about how it's going to be. The Mustang has been really solid as far as wiring, so no concerns there. And if I start a project this big and I end it with an extra T5, I win no matter what. But we did the body harness, fuel injection harness, the battery, kill switch. We added all the extra wiring for water pump, fan, things like that. That'll get added later. And I'm in pretty good shape. I think the next thing, we're up to the point where it's going to get really fun and stuff's going to go fast. So it's not that I was dragging my feet on the wiring. It takes me a very long time to do it so that I'm happy enough with what resources I've got. It can be cleaner. I still have brackets to mount things, but I'm not going to worry about any of that. I'm going to hear this thing run before I make any brackets. And that way, in case I need to diagnose something, everything's already out. Once a stock 2.3 fuel injected engine is running in this, then I'll go through and make all the brackets and get that stuff done. So, coming up, the engine that's in it needs to come out, get an oil pan put on it, get all of that engine side of it done. There's nothing for a cross member for the transmission, and I have no idea what I've got for a drive shaft. I don't even know. I know I've got a couple that came out of Pintos, so we'll just have to look. I have a stack of drive shafts, so maybe I'll have something for it. And then soon, I need to put axles in this. When I built the rear end, in trying to save money, I didn't put axles in it. So my goal, the axles that are in the Mustang were really junk, awful ones that I got from eBay like 12 years ago or so. So I think I'm going to buy a brand new shiny set for that and then take the junk ones and put the junk ones in here. And they lived in that car, so they should definitely live in this one. And so engine, transmission, and then, I don't know, we're at least going to get it up to the point of running. The fuel system we did in the one video, but I still need to do the last little things to hook it to an engine. And all the fuel lines run inside with me, so I'm going to run them under the floor. We'll get those a little bit more permanent. And I said when I was doing the fuel lines, they're going to move around a little bit, and that'll make sense later. So just stay with me. A lot of this stuff, people are like, why in the world are you doing it this way? And then when I get done, they're like, oh, I get it. So hang in there, and that's pretty much it. I'm done. Now that it stormed, it dropped like 15 degrees, so I'm just going to work on cleaning this stuff up, and we'll get ready for the next video. That's it for now. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.